Hi, everybody. Happy Wednesday to you. It's Region Weather Meteorologist Matt Wintz with you this evening. Special broadcast tonight, not because we've got a big winter storm on the way, but because we have a complex winter storm on the way, and there's a lot of kind of moving parts to it, and you're going to be seeing a lot on social media. You'll probably be watching some of it on the news as well, and I just want to kind of level set what's going to happen with this storm system, what we can expect as we get into the weekend, because obviously it's the weekend. We have plans, and we want to make sure that this storm system doesn't get in our way in terms of timing with travel and all that stuff. So I want to go over that and just kind of get everyone on the same page with this. I was going to do a graphic tonight, and then I was like, you know what? There's just too much to put into one graphic. I just want to make sure we kind of chat about it instead. And you guys can rewatch this. This is not going to be outdated the rest of the evening. We're not going to show a lot of live stuff or anything like that. We're going to go over forecast data, which should be good. If the forecast is accurate, it'll be good all the way through the weekend, but let's just say something changes. It'll be good through tomorrow at least. So there's that. But anyway, hope you guys are doing well. Thanks for kind of hopping on this evening. I know you're probably in the middle of your dinner plans and all that good stuff. So I'm very cognizant of that. This is a free show for our sponsors as well. Guys, if you need any local businesses to do any of the trades we have above, we have Earl's Heating and Air Conditioning, PSA, that's our public service adjusters here in Northwest Indiana. Roman's Roofing, if you need any roofing, siding, gutters, stuff like that. Halcyon Water Solutions, if you need water treatment or just want to get your water tested. Minogue.life, Michael Minogue, serving the world of Medicare, Medicaid, life insurance. He's an expert in that stuff. Reach out to him if you've got questions around any of that. Kate Cusack for Ruoff Mortgage, if you need a lender for mortgage, all your mortgage needs, she'll get you pre-approved and get you ready to go. Tiger Plumbing, our local plumbers. FBI Buildings, if you need a pole barn constructed or renovated. TNT Tree Service, if you have any trees that need taken down or maybe trimmed up, they do that as well. And Grieger's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Valparaiso. So we thank you for those sponsors. Make sure you support them if you can. All right, let's dive into the forecast details here this evening. Want to say hi to our early bird first. We've got Cheryl Lynn first on board. Cheryl, hot trigger finger tonight. We appreciate you joining us. Hope you're doing all right. She says she hopes the snow stays away. Unfortunately, we've got a long January to get through as it looks right now. Kimberly's with us as well. Stacy not happy about the S word being used in the forecast. Oh, Stacy, we've got, again, a long winter to go. I'm going to go long-term on this as well. We're going to talk about what happens as we get into late January around here. We kind of hinted on this on our Sunday live broadcast that we had. All right, so here's our storm system now. There's a lot of moisture with this. We haven't had, really since that last wind maker we had, what was that, a week and a half ago, we haven't had a lot of moisture with these systems as we've had cold air coming from the north, so a lot of clipper systems. But this one's tapping into the moisture, and you can see it. It's developing over the desert southwest right now, the Four Corners region, and you can see this flow of moisture coming off the Pacific. This is that same flow of moisture that brings the atmospheric river events in the California, Pacific Northwest. This trails all the way back in the Pacific. So bottom line, there's good moisture with this. This low will also tap into the Gulf. And so as a result, we're going to have moisture from the Pacific and the Gulf combining. So we're going to get some rain out of this and maybe even some thunderstorms. And then out towards the northwest, there's another system coming in that will kind of make this complex as it moves in over the course of the weekend. All right. So that's what we're dealing with. That's where it is right now. For today and for the rest of the day and tonight and most of the day tomorrow, we're going to just see increasing clouds as the system approaches, and then rain will finally arrive tomorrow as we go through time. So let's take you through it. Here's this low. Tonight we're fine. Tomorrow morning's rush hour, no problem. And we're going to develop overnight and into the morning hours tomorrow a pretty stout south wind, and that south wind is going to help to warm us up. We've got a nice warm up on the leading edge of this storm system as it moves in. You can see this is tomorrow morning. This is now tomorrow midday. We're starting to see perhaps the first little band of some showers move in. We'll have some dry air initially, but it should saturate pretty quickly. So I do expect some showers to break out tomorrow afternoon into the evening. And then especially tomorrow evening, right here is when we get the meat and potatoes of the storm system. We'll have a nice south wind. Temperatures tomorrow are going to get up into the 50s, and they'll get up into the 50s around that evening rush hour. They'll kind of hold there in the mid 50s. And then they'll start to dip maybe a degree or two with the daytime cooling as the sun goes down. But then we get this surge right here, which you see. And there's this warm envelope of air with some humidity as well that's going to come in. And so temps are going to hit, again, mid 50s, I've got us at. And then they'll kind of trail back maybe a degree or two around that evening rush hour. But then as this envelope comes in of warmer air with the actual out ahead of the front with the actual kind of warm sector of this, temps will come up. And I still think, I said this morning on our 8-day forecast, I still think we're going to hit 60 tomorrow. Model's kind of backing off from that, but I think we make a real good run at it. If not, we'll be around 57, 58, or 59, somewhere in there. Either way, tomorrow evening after sunset is when we'll likely reach our high temperature for the day. So temps will continue to go up through the day, and they should peak sometime tomorrow evening. It does come with rain, though, and you can see some of the modeling here indicating not just good rain, but like good rain, some heavy rain possible, and maybe some thunder in here as well, with some thunderstorms developing in that warm sector. This would be late tomorrow, into the evening hours, and then the overnight. This is midnight. This is like 10, 9, 8. So see that time frame right in there. That's when we get some heavier downpours with the front. Okay. So then that moves by, and Friday morning, we're kind of in this in-between where the front has gone by or is going by. The HRRR model that I'm showing is a lot slower in the progression of this front versus the NAM and the RAP. So as a result, the timing's still kind of unsure when this front goes by. But either way, we've got the warm air in here tomorrow evening, and then tomorrow night into Friday, we should see temperatures kind of sliding back. I believe on the 8-day I posted this morning, I had a down arrow on Friday, because I think we'll start morning rush hour on the milder side, and then temps will slide back. So what happens is this front heads east. Our wind, you can see it there, turns out of the northwest, and colder air starts blowing in. But the warm air is still pretty close to us, but I do think we'll get cooler, and I don't think we're going to be on the warm side of things Friday. That temp should come down. And then this whole thing comes back as a new storm system on Saturday and the Sunday, and that's the one where it turns wintry and kind of turns us a little snowy around here. I'll show you that here in a second. But that's what we've got. So again, in recap, I know I just vomit a lot of weather information at you. In recap, tomorrow what we're going to be dealing with is increasing clouds, increasing gusty wind. We'll have rain, likely some kind of band in the afternoon, and then the real stuff gets here tomorrow evening. Okay, so evening rush hour and beyond, we're dealing with some heavier downpours, perhaps some thunder around here. In terms of severe weather, not anticipating it. In terms of thunderstorms, we may hear thunder. Here's your severe threat. It's down southern Illinois. I mean, that's pretty far north for this time of year once again, but down in that region. And then the next day, as we go into Friday, it becomes a bigger threat with that secondary low, but not for us. It'll be far south. So I'm not worried about severe weather with this. Two more components to this that we have to watch. Here's your temperatures. I want to show you that first. So watch these temps. Watch how this surge comes in. This is tomorrow during the day. We get well up into the 50s, and then we get this little appendage right here. See this bubble that comes in? That's the warm sector of the system, where I think temps even shoot up a couple more degrees. I still think we'll hit 60. Either way, that moves through, and then watch how temps like slowly scale back there on Friday, where we go from 50s to 40s, even 30s by evening. So different wind shift on Friday. And then the other thing is it's going to get real windy around here. A lot of the modeling indicating with that band of rain that comes in with some of those thunderstorms, we could get some gusts on the order of 40, maybe 50 miles per hour. We'll see. I'm going 30 to 40 for right now, but there's going to be good jet energy in the system. So we could have some stronger wind gusts tomorrow evening as well. It'll be a windy day tomorrow, but those real gusty winds, they're going to be howling up above us at jet stream level and in the mid-levels of the atmosphere. And some of these more developed showers may go up into that and bring some of those strong winds down to the surface. So any downpours we have, any thunder that we have in some of the thunderstorms, those showers and those thunderstorms are capable of bringing stronger winds down. So I'm not looking at widespread damaging winds, but we could have some pockets of 40 to 50 mile per hour wind gusts within this. So getting windy, getting warm, and kind of spring-like tomorrow evening with some thunderstorm chances, okay? So we'll close the book on that because that's system number one. Let's talk about the one that comes in after that. So you can see kind of big picture how this goes. There's our storm system tomorrow. It moves out Friday as this front settles down towards the south and the east. New wave of low pressure develops along that same front. That one comes north right there, and we happen to have colder air in place already. Remember, we're getting colder on Friday. So in terms of Friday looks pretty quiet around here. Remember, temperatures are going to be sliding back through the day. We'll have a lot of clouds around. It'll turn kind of raw and blustery by evening, and it should be mild to start. So all that happens where it just kind of comes down in terms of temps on Friday. I don't see a lot of precip happening on Friday. I think we'll be okay for our Friday evening plans as well. But then this next low pressure, this is the one that will have severe weather down in the Tennessee and Mississippi valleys. That one will bring a slug of rain north, and I'm not too worried about that rain hitting us, but what we will see is there's this shortwave trough that comes in from the west. Both of these will meet up, and they'll spin up an area of low pressure. So it's kind of like pushing your hand. I always use this reference with severe weather. It's like pushing your hand through a bathtub, and you get that swirl on the northern end. All right, that swirl is what's going to be kind of coming in here tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but Friday evening into Friday night. and that should have a chunk of cold air with it, but it also should be able to combine with this moisture and this jet energy out of the south and create good uplift in the atmosphere. And so what that means, that's what's happening synoptically. What that means for us here at the surface and what most people care about is the fact that we're going to develop some snow around here on Saturday. So we're going to likely start, and the radar will probably look real quiet. You'll see all this activity Friday night down to the south, maybe a little appendage of a band of showers with some snow back towards Missouri. This is where the temp drop is. But watch how this swings in, and as these two kind of phase together, there should be development of snow and some rain initially over northwest Indiana and really all of Indiana. All right, and this will get going pretty quickly. And as a result, things are going to go downhill where the snow develops pretty quickly on Saturday. I don't see a lot of snow for us locally. And the reason why, the best lift is going to be back here in Illinois and in areas of Wisconsin. We're going to be kind of in between where you've got this energy west, you've got this energy east, and we'll have some development of snow showers here, but the bulk of it's going to be north and west of us, and it continues to show like that on the modeling. But either way, Saturday, what we're going to see are falling temperatures again, and we're going to see snow develop across the region. This snow is going to be combined with a fairly decent wind. I think the wind really picks up Saturday night, Sunday, but we'll have some gusty winds around here as that snow starts to develop. And again, we could maybe get an inch and a half. This isn't going to be a big snow on Saturday, but just going to turn snowy and colder around here. And my worry is that after sunset on Saturday, that once that sun goes down, we lose solar heating, and it's a whole different ballgame in terms of what accumulates, not just on grassy surfaces. I'm not too worried about that, but more so on roads. We could get some slick spots around here Saturday evening if you do have plans. From not a big snow, but again, it doesn't take much. A little bit causes all sorts of problems. We know that. So that system goes by. We get a brief dry period Saturday evening into Saturday night. After that snow moves out, this is when the wind kicks up and temperatures start to crash. So any residual water is going to turn to some ice, all right? Hopefully everything will dry up by then. I'm not too worried about black ice, but overall it could be a concern. Decks, porches, driveways, stuff like that. That's Saturday night, and then the whole thing kind of wraps up, and we get this back appendage of it on Saturday overnight into Sunday especially. And so Sunday, we've got more snow showers in the forecast, and those could put down another quick coating to an inch, and it's going to be a lot colder, and it's going to be windier on Sunday. So no big snows out of this, but again, could get a little tricky around here late Saturday after the sun sets, and even during the day Saturday if we get decent enough rates, and then Sunday as well from some of that snow, okay? So I wanted to talk about that. Again, no big snows from this locally. This is not a blockbuster storm. I don't know what you're hearing on social media. I don't know what some of these basement meteorologists are talking about. Most of them, I think, are behaving with this. I haven't seen anything too crazy, but just want to level set with everyone. Not a big snow coming our way, but it is going to get colder, especially on the day Saturday when that temp comes down, and then Sunday we're in it, okay? Highs likely upper 20s, low 30s, okay? So nothing January frigid cold, but cold enough. Then it gets interesting, all right? And I'm just going to show you the Euro 12Z run from earlier this afternoon of kind of what happens after this or what it thinks is going to happen the rest of January. We know that temperatures are going to come down. I just posted that, the temperature pattern that the Euro is showing, where we have the warmer next couple of days, and then we get kind of a January brand of cold where we've got 20s, 30s, even some 40s. Remember, our average is in the mid-30s, so that's the midpoint. So that's next week. We spend next week kind of January-ish, like the way you'd expect it. And then after that, there's another chunk of Arctic air that comes in, and that continues to look very promising on the modeling. We saw, the stratospheric warming a couple weeks ago. The cold air is displaced, and now it's going to lodge itself in Canada next week, and then it's just a matter of time. So it does look like the end of January, or even towards the end, like just after the middle of it. So we're talking like 19th, 20th, 21st. We get some pretty cold air in here, as you'd expect in the month of January, but it's always kind of like wait and see when it happens. So let me show you the modeling here. I'll show you temperatures last, but I want to show you the modeling with cold air in place, what the Euro is saying is possible, all right? So we don't really have it yet next Monday and Tuesday, but then it arrives with an Arctic front sometime Wednesday the 14th, this is next week, into Thursday. And that comes with some snow, but it comes with this big dump of Arctic air, and that Arctic air just dives all the way down to the deep south. And now we've got Arctic air in place. We bring another system in with some snow and cold across the Great Lakes. That may merge with a more active subtropical jet down in the southeast, so we're capable of maybe producing some kind of snowstorm for the first time this winter. Doesn't mean it's here, but we really have not had much action across the Ohio Valley because it's been all out of the northwest. So that would set up maybe snowstorm potential sometime 17th, 18th. Doesn't mean it's here. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but that potential's there as that subtropical jet's involved. And then you can see the Euro brings in more cold air the 19th with more snow, and then it brings in some kind of bigger system that could be another snowstorm somewhere as we go into the 21st and 22nd. This is all with these waves of low pressure. But the difference now versus what we have kind of seen all winter so far is that we are now going to start to play with the Gulf moisture with these systems. And with cold air in place, that's how we get snowstorms in the eastern half of the country. We have not had that pattern really yet this winter where we've had the real cold air in place and then we get Gulf moisture. We've just had cold air in place and little clipper systems with some snow with them. So the potential's there for this really to turn into a memorable January around here. The potential's there. It doesn't mean it will, but that cold air really looks locked in the rest of the month as we go through time. And January, typically our snowiest month here in the Great Lakes. And as a result, you'd expect Mother Nature to kind of catch up after a mild start. All right. Last thing I want to show you, I do want to show you temperatures. We'll just show you what the models are showing in terms of this. We'll go back to the 12Z. This is what the Euro has in terms of temperatures as of this afternoon's run. Doesn't mean they're all accurate. We get less accurate as we get out in time. What I look for in this and what I preach in this is to look for trends, okay? Does it look real cold? Does it stay in real cold on the modeling for a certain period of time? And this hasn't changed at all. It's got the mild air next couple days, but then notice we get kind of tier 1 of the cold next week, and then we get tier 2 of the cold as we get into the latter half of next week and especially the week after that. That's when the Arctic kind of opens up and it looks like we stay cold for a while, okay? And the Euro is not the only model saying that. I'll show you the GFS deterministic today. Same idea. The warm stuff goes away. We replace it with tier 1 of cold, and then tier 2 comes in with a lot of 20s in there as we go through the extended forecast there as well. Okay, so that's what I've got for you here tonight. Hopefully that helps explain kind of what we've got coming our way. Again, I just want you to get something out of it. That's all right? I know there's a lot of kind of confusing stuff going on out on social, and so I just want to kind of level set with you. And anyone that wants to watch this or is watching this in the distant future, that's okay too. This should still be accurate, all right? If you guys have any questions, throw them into the chat, either on YouTube or on our Facebook channel. I'll answer those as they come on in, and then we'll get you out of here, all right, on this Wednesday evening. Nice to join you during the week. We used to do Wednesday broadcasts, and then we had too many kids, and we've got too much stuff going on, so there's that. But we had a little time tonight. Everything kind of went as planned. We got dinner cleaned up, and we're ready to go. Dragica, thanks for joining us. Bill Carpenter, thanks for joining us tonight. I do appreciate you taking time out of your schedule. James and Nancy, you too. Frank said he went to Grieger's today. Nice trucks. Yeah, they do great service there. I mean, we've worked with them for almost 3 years now, and Grieger's is great. Just they're no pressure. They're not like your typical car sales place. And I like them all as great. They're just great people in general. Kristen says, as always, thanks for keeping us informed. Kristen, you're absolutely welcome. Lisa calls it weather whiplash. That's so fitting. That's exactly what we're going through. Hi, Diane. Shane says, our 7-year-old Ollie says hi. He loves your channel. Shane, I appreciate that. And hi, Ollie. Thanks for joining me, buddy. I appreciate that. That's really nice of you. We like to inform, obviously, without the scare tactics that a lot of places use. So there's that. Stacy says, I can deal with that weekend stuff. Yeah, it'll be very manageable this weekend for sure. Alex, it's going to be getting colder during the Bears game for sure. It'll be interesting to see if we have snowflakes flying around or not, but it's definitely going to be a playoff game. It's going to feel like it out there as well. Kevin, I don't know. They've had their number this year. We'll see. Kevin, what do you think? You're always asking me. I think you're more of an expert than I am. I do weather prediction. I mean, we predict some sports stuff. We can get it right, but it's going to be, what an atmosphere that's going to be, though. That last game was wild, and I know this one is as well. My wife and I will definitely be tuning into that. Shelly, you're welcome. Mary, you're welcome as well. Ann asked a good question. How do you think travel will be from Munster to the southwest suburbs, Frankfurt, during the Bears game? Going to Bears get together. That's awesome, man. So I don't think it's going to be too tricky. We're going to have to watch the snow and the wind around. I think it'll be manageable, but there will be snowflakes flying. So just keep that in mind. It's not going to be a big winter storm, but the temps will be coming down. So just take it easy. You might need a little extra time, but again, I think it'll be manageable. I'm not expecting big snow amounts from this or anything like that. Maxwell, be sure to get some lightning photos. Absolutely, Maxwell. If we get some, I do think we'll get a couple rumbles around here. There should be enough instability. And again, if we hit 60, which I think we'll hit, GFS thinks we'll hit 60. That's nice to know. I thought I was on an island by myself, but if we hit 60, we'll have enough instability to produce some thunder and lightning out of that. Lynn, you're absolutely welcome. Alex, for sure. Yep. And Ann says thank you. Okay. I think I've got it all. You guys, thanks for joining me tonight. I appreciate you taking time out of your dinner to join for a little weather chat. Hopefully you found this helpful. If there's anything you guys want to see that I don't cover, please let me know. Either throw it in this chat, I'll look at it, or private message me. That's fine as well. But again, these broadcasts are for you. They're not for me, okay? So just want to make sure we're informing. Ray, I got your message on there. Friday night, just rain then. Yes, Ray. Friday night, I actually think we're going to get a little break on Friday night where we get most of the rain. Again, tomorrow, later in the day, tomorrow evening is when the bulk of that comes through. And we should go dry for a while on Friday. Friday should be a fairly quiet day with temperatures just kind of coming back down. And then Friday night into Saturday, that's when that moisture comes in. But I kind of feel like our Friday night's going to be okay. I think this is going to be more of a Saturday thing. We'll have to keep an eye on the timing of that initial ban, but I'm not too worried about our Friday night plans. Carol, you're welcome. Dee, you're welcome as well. Thanks for taking time out of your schedule. All right, guys, have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow, not just on our page, but on the radio side of things. You can listen to us, X-Rock 103.9 Indiana, 105.5, and Z107.1. We're on there with interviews in the morning, and we've got your region weather forecast all day long on all those. So you guys have a good one. Kevin, I see your prediction. Kevin says 24-20, Bears win. I could get down with that score. That would be a wild game, and I think it will be. All right, Kevin, you enjoy too, buddy.